Hello folks, as we always know, when the band-aid comes off the camera, the video goes live. Now I'm going to be doing a video today to speak about this article here. You can see it. A Revolt and a King, the ideology behind Jewish terrorism. It's from Ynet. You can see there. Okay, so of course fair use and all of the copyrights and permissions, go to Yoav Zitun and of course Ynet News. They are the owners of the content. I'm going to go through the article, just read it and kind of take it apart because it's just absurd leftist propaganda, and we need to start coming out and putting the truth out, because the truth will set you free. Okay, so the headline, as you saw, okay, right below it, the sub-headline: Jewish terror group believes the state of Israel has no right to exist and is working to overthrow the government. Arabs, they say, have no place in Israel, and it is therefore permissible to kill them. That's like, the whole thing is a lie, okay? Because, all right, so let's go. Okay, Jewish group believes the state of Israel has no right to exist. These people are fighting for a Torah-based government, for not a state of Jews. They are fighting for a Jewish state, okay? This is what they want. This is their ideology, a Jewish state, okay? Not a Hellenistic democratic government. Democracy, as we know, is founded in Greece. But I'm going to move on, okay? Now, they're working to overthrow the government. They're working to change it, okay? Overthrow. I mean, come on now. 50 hilltop boys, okay? Living in shacks against the mighty IDF. Okay, no, they're working to change hearts and minds, okay? They're working to get out the message to Jews like myself. And, I learned this not from them, but of course, I have the same ideology, that we need a Torah-based government, a Jewish state. I mean, that's really ultimately what it comes down to, okay? And they say Arabs have no place in Israel. Okay, well, unless you're Ger Toshav, if you learn the Torah, you'll understand that the only people that can live here are either Jews or Noahides, and even Noahides have to be what's called Ger Toshav. And that, of course, for a whole other video. Okay. And it's therefore permissible to kill them. That's utter. Okay, I'll censor myself on that one. These are God-fearing boys, okay, that understand that one of the 10 commandments is you shouldn't kill, okay? And the only way we're obligated to do things like that in a war-type situation is with, of course, the Sanhedrin, which is a Torah-based government, 71 judges that sit in Jerusalem on the Temple Mount, ultimately please God, and with orders from them would be where something like that would occur, where you would have a right to go out and have a war. And there's two different types of wars as well, which we'll get into again in another video. There's a war of obligation, and then there's a secondary type of war. Okay. All right. Now, so the members of the Jewish Revolt terror group believe that it's just too. I shouldn't laugh. I should almost cry, because it's really like that tragic that this utter nonsense is being put out in pages, folks, pages. Look at this, pages, okay? Okay, so the terror group believe that the state of Israel has no right to exist, and no Arabs, and so we're permissible to kill them. I already said that, and that was just repeated. Several of the members of this group were indicted on Sunday. Now, two were indicted. Several is, I don't know, a half a dozen. A few is like 3. I would think several is at least more than 3. But 2 were indicted for Duma. I was there in Lod, okay, at the courthouse, inside the courthouse. And then 2 were indicted for other incidents, okay? So several is also incorrect. including a 21-year-old, that's who, Amiram Ben Uliel. This is the guy who they've named. And the 17-year-old, I happen to know his family. I know him, Israeli-American teenager, because he's one of the only boys that can communicate with me, because I sadly don't speak Hebrew. Okay, the Shin Bet said Ben Uliel admitted to planning and perpetrating the attack. He was tortured. Okay? Give me the opportunity to put you in the dungeon. You, whoever is looking at this and thinking otherwise. I don't want to, of course, but give me, 30 days to put you in a dungeon. I'll get you to admit anything. Okay. And his version, supported concealed evidence, total, utter, secret evidence. A secret. So we're gonna make up something that that this boy babbled to after being not sleeping for 3 weeks, being his ears screamed in, being tortured, being put on a rack, and whatever he mumbled out of his mouth from sheer subconscious, right to try to survive, like survival instincts. They're gonna, of course, record this, and then this is, valid testimony. Read between the lines, Shin Bet. Between the lines, friends. Okay. I'm going to run out of time going through this article. I'm probably going to have to do it in two things. Okay. The Shin Bet arrested 23 members of the Revolt group since November 25th, when the investigation into the arson into Duma became known. In other words, when they finally decided that they would not get the Arabs, the Clash of Clans in that village, they decided, let's use this opportunity to vilify these hilltop boys that are using, our assets, because we have to protect them in the hills, and it's costing us money. So let's vilify them and negate them. Okay, and the group's hardcore element number 30 to 40 people. The whole group is like 50 kids. I mean, kids. Look at this, from 15 to 24, though some are as young as 13. Okay, a 13-year-old kid, okay, I don't know, maybe he played a video game about some kind of army thing, but, against, IDF Golani Givati Special Forces. I have to laugh. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Most of the group's members reside in the Shiloh block. Okay, so what they're trying to do now is they're trying to vilify that block Shiloh, because Shiloh, of course, is next to Duma. If you look on a map, okay, and search Google Maps for Duma, and you'll see there's two Yeshuvim on Malay Ephraim is on one side, and Shiloh is on the other, and Duma's in the middle. So of course they're going to say Shiloh block. But even this, they're saying, most members reside in the Shiloh block and other areas of Samaria, the region of the West Bank, which it's Samaria, okay? It's that there is no ATM up here with some bank with that name, but they come from all over the country. I'm trying to stay focused, folks, but it's hard to. I'll put the article up, and you can go through it. You can go through it like I'm going through it now. Okay, so the Shin Bet says there has been an increase in the number of youths who want to join the group in its actions since the Duma arson attack. It has that's ridiculous. If anyone wants to band together as Jews, it's because of all this silent intifada that's been going on since September. Jews are getting killed every day, rammed, killed, stabbed. Look it up yourself. The first intifada was 6 years. The second one was 5 years. Look up that too. And this one started in September. Are we going to go another 5 or 6 years until 2020, 2021? That's the point. That's the point, folks, is that if anyone's banding together, it's banding together because we don't want our blood spilled. We don't. Enough's enough. I mean, it's spilled all over the world. So why should it be spilled here in our own state, where we're supposed to have protection and a Jewish army and a Jewish police force and people that care about us and want to see us alive? Okay, according to the Shin Bet, the Revolt's group's ideology started taking shape in October of 2013. Now, since that time, until the attack in Duma, its members committed 11 arson attacks against Palestinians and churches. All right, so this is really troubling. I mean, this is the main reason for this video, okay? Is what's happening here is the government is ramping up to basically at some point come up with treason. Now, I don't know all of the laws of Israel. I'm going to have to do a little research on, treason laws and stuff like that. Like I'm from America, so I like Benedict Arnold. I know stuff like this. Judah Benjamin, who was in the Confederacy, a Jew, who ran to, England after the South lost. I mean, this type of stuff I'm familiar with. But I don't know the treason laws here. I don't know if, of course I know that the government here carries laws from the Ottoman Empire, from the British Mandate period. I know they keep these convenient laws on the books to keep up with their oppression. But, that being said, I'm not really sure if there's treason laws or if, they're going to do it. They're going to come up with treason laws and hang these boys in Yitzhak Rabin Square, okay, to the bloodlust of all the lefties. And the rainbow people will wave their flags as this goes on. Okay, so since the beginning of the investigation, some of its members of this group have been indicted, and many received administrative orders barring them from entering the... I'm not even going to say it. Barring them from entering Judea and Samaria, Jerusalem and other areas, and the Shin Bet has conducted nighttime raids to arrest suspects. Yeah, they come at like 2, 3 in the morning. A lot of times, like in this season, it's raining. They wait until like a rainy night. They come at 2, 3 in the morning and literally destroy, everything that, these kids have cobbled together. It's really shocking and a shame. And some of them even have children. So then, like, these children, are traumatized. When their little hut is destroyed. It's sad. Okay. So, in addition, several of the youth have been put under administrative house arrest, and 4 of them have put under administrative detention. The Judea and Samaria District Police established a special force to aid the IDF in its military operation. Now, I have signed for one of these boys, so I know that he stayed in my house. One of them, not one of the 4 here in this thing, but another boy, a good boy, stayed in my house from Rosh Hashanah to Yom Kippur under administrative detention. I was like a prisoner because, I was signed for him and I had to watch him, and he couldn't leave my house and I couldn't leave either, except, I asked the judge for just, some minor leniencies, to be able to shop and stuff like that, but even that was, extremely limited. Now, what happened is, of course, they put together, as it says, a special force. So, the special force, they're making money, and they need to, find a boogeyman to continue with their funding. This is the bottom line. It's really a dastardly deed. I know it started even before Zippy Livni's whole, Jewish division of Shabak, but from my mind, I mean, in all intents and purposes, I can use that, even though they came after my rabbi before 1990 and before he was killed. But Zippy Livni is got this force she put together, and the force needs to continue its funding, and it's really shocking, Zippy Livni. Let me just talk to you as this video ends, because I'm going to have to, the next part I'm going to go through with the Shin Bet the manifesto we'll go through on the next video, okay? So wait for part 2, but it's really shocking, Zippy Livni, and I'm talking right to you, girl, that your father, we know your father is. I mean, do you really want to disgrace the memory of your father, Zippy, with your disgusting ideology? I mean, is power really that sweet? Are you really that so entranced and entrenched with this power that you can't even keep your hold on? But you're so entrenched, in it. It's like an aphrodisiac to you, that you will go against, God in heaven to keep it. I mean, do you realize, what's going to go on with your soul? I mean, it's tragic, Zippy Livni. Absolutely tragic. And I'm going to go to a part 2 of this video. Okay?